10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box.
Perfect.
We had a week off because Mike's a bum.
Hey, it happens. Some people have to work.
I work a lot.
There's not like many people that have to work these days. You know what I mean? Like a few times I have to actually do shit. Yeah, so that was that. I got super busy and it sucked. I was not a fan. I have a question for you because you like your snacks, right? You're snack guy. You're eating as we're speaking. What do you got there? Because this actually is even better.
All right, so I cut down candy a lot, right? But these are, I don't know, Laffy Taffy Laugh Bites.
Okay.
Weird. Never had them before, but they're like a hard cased Laffy Taffy with like gusher in the middle kind of deal.
Okay, I was gonna say it sounds like a hard gusher.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know if I ever told this on the podcast. One time, me and your brother got in trouble from your dad thinking we left all the fucking fruit roll-ups at the field. We did not. We had to pick it up and clean the field. That obviously came from Junior at some point. So, this past week, I saw in our team group chat, everyone was talking about snacks, right? And I saw some fruit roll-ups were brought up, all that stuff. I kind of let it go. This is a question. This is something I do like this candy a lot, and you only get it around this time of year, but I feel like a lot of people don't like it. How do you feel about candy corn?
Candy corn? Yeah, that's good.
See, I like it. It's one of those ones that's like,
though. I don't like the chocolate shit.
Yes.
It's got to be standard classic.
Yes, and it was that was not a topic, but it's something I had wrote down about 20 minutes before. I was like, I want to ask Wes about candy corn because I know he likes his candies.
I do eat candy corn.
I don't like
a lot of people shit on candy corn.
I know, I agree. The only one I don't like, I like the standard flavor as well, but I don't like when you were a kid, you'd go trick or treat and you'd get like the shitty clear pack and it'd have like 4 or 5 pieces.
Yeah.
And I never liked that one. It always tasted like old. But any other one, it's like the old, like around this time of year, I'm like, oh, like I can't eat too much of it because it's like straight fucking sugar. And it's like, I get bored with it very quickly, but I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, candy corn. So I
always get one. And my first bite, I try to like mentally bite off the colors.
Yeah, I think everybody does. I think it's it's some psychological thing because I do the same thing. And today I was working and I had I don't work with dental picks, but there was one sitting on my desk for cleaning my guns, and I had a piece of candy corn I was getting ready to eat. And I was like, I want to chop these colors like into 3 segments with this dental pick. So I was sitting there poking.
I can do it. Like same with gummy worms. If I get like sour worms or the worms that have multi-colors, like they're like 4 different colors, I'll try to bite the worm off at where I think in my head where the color stops.
I don't do. I'm not a big gummy worm person though.
Yeah, so say like you get the gummy worm that has like 4 colors, like red, green, blue, purple. I'll bite them off in colors. It just gives me something to do when I'm eating the candy, just so I don't eat the entire gummy worm.
I'd never thought about that. The only gummy worms I like are the trolleys, but the sour ones. Those are the only ones I like, and it's only the red and blue ones, and there may be a purple one too. Like you can get just bags of those.
Yeah,
those are the only ones I really like. I got my sister one of those big like gummy bears one time for Christmas, and she was like, "I'll eat this thing," and then it was like she took a couple bites out of it, and then like by February she was like, "I'm not gonna be eating the thing." I'm like, "Well, throw the bitch out!" Like it was cool. It was more like a gift, like you kind of
gag gift.
Yeah, I mean, you eat it maybe, or you leave it in the box for forever. But I was like, I saw every time I see candy corn, I'm like, my fucking favorite. I only get it from like now till maybe November. You know what I mean? Like,
and the candy corn you're buying now is from like 2 years ago, anyways.
Oh yeah,
the same candy corn. Because I think honestly, all the candy corn was made in like 1984. Like that's like, and they just keep reusing old supply. It's all the same candy corn. There's no new candy corn.
Probably only one company makes it too.
Yeah.
This stuff I got was I've never seen it, and I'm sure I have seen it, but I've never really paid attention. Normally it's in like a bag, like you would get like a bag of sugar.
Or orange bag.
Yeah. This one was actually in like a plastic container, so you could like reseal it real well. And I've noticed it stayed like way fresher because it always gets like dried out because it's in the bag. You roll the bag up like a bag of potato chips, but candy corn lasts longer than a bag of chips normally just because that fucking sugar, it's so much. Especially since I got a root canal, I don't want to fuck up my tooth anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So after we start off with some candy talk, I don't have a big topic other than I need the rundown on the last CPXL. It's been 2 weeks, so I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a late reaction out of it. But I know y'all won.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember, dude.
What?
Did we?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I want to know. I looked at your record, and it's like y'all won, but y'all didn't like. No, there's only one team you on paper. I'm looking to. That's me. I know nothing. But I don't ask you about these events when I'm not there on purpose.
Yeah.
I want to hear the story. But on paper, the only team y'all like rolled, like really and truly rolled, it looks like Carolina Gridlock.
Carolina what?
Gridlock.
Oh yeah, we fucking beat the fuck.
But everybody else, it looks like for the most part, they were relatively close games. But a 2-1 could be a close game, but you also could have had 2 points up with a minute left on the clock, so the last point doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the first.
What was our final match or second? What was our semis match?
Your semis match was Crisis Red.
The 2-1 or 3-1?
3-2 is what I have here.
3-2?
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling here. So I mean, it could be off. It could be 3-1.
I think it's 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, it says 3-2, but you know how that could be.
Yeah, I'm like 99% positive it's 3-1 because they only won the very first point of the day, the very first point against us.
Gotcha.
Then we beat the fuck out of them.
Let me see how they scored it.
I don't remember losing a game.
Wait a second. Let me see if I can find that.
Ever. So.
No, it doesn't give me. It might if I do this.
But who knows?
No.
I could be forgetting a point. I just don't. I remember losing the very first point because we had like 2 losses on the break.
Yeah.
And then after that, we dialed it in pretty well.
So take me back to the beginning. You guys played Nomads at first, and it's a 2-1. Do you remember the first game of the day? Looks like y'all played about 8:30, which is nice because normally y'all are
first match.
So that was a little bit of a relief.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward match. We realized the field was playing a lot slower than it was, so we played a lot more slower ball. Nothing really crazy in that match. I think we were actually winning the last point too, and then we just a lot of these points
time expire.
We got way up on bodies, and we're up on points. We just sat there.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how you gotta play fucking X-Men.
Yeah,
sucks.
Yeah, that was a pretty nothing crazy happened in that one. I don't think at all, honestly. We actually, it's crazy. We weren't getting any kills on the break at all until the very end of the day, in the quarters quarters, semis, and finals. Then all of our kills came on the break, and then that was just me and Jamie. I would run out and shoot, and we would just double up on the lane, and we were literally killing a guy like 60% of the 70% of the time, like every time, boom, 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 boom.
That would have made the rest of this.
Other than that, we never got any kills on break all day.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So then the second match y'all played Clutch Gray. It looks like they have this as a 2-1, and I actually misread that earlier. I thought they beat y'all 2-1. And that's why I thought y'all went in. I thought y'all won by going 2-2. The scoring here is a little fucking.
Yeah, I'll be honest. A lot of these matches are pretty boring. Like nothing crazy happened in really any of these matches.
That sucks. That's not a fun tournament.
Yeah,
it was just
it was straight up grind. Like we would just get out there, shoot your lanes, get in a couple of small gunfights, and then wait until you're up on bodies. Slowly capitalize, push down the field, play bully ball, and like 2 guys, clip them out, and then just like beat up on the last guy. And if you're up in points, then just literally sit there and just shoot the middle of his bunker and don't let him move for like 2 minutes and burn the clock out.
You think it was the layout that made it like this? Or just the way people are playing now?
Some people are playing it super fast. It's just not how we were playing it.
Okay, gotcha.
But a lot different.
That's insane. So yeah, the third game was Dark Carnival. Y'all lost to them 1-0. But again, like you said, it was just everyone fucking sitting on guns.
We played 1 point. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's fucking bananas. Was it a full 12 minute?
It was a 7 and 40 minute point.
God dang. That's
I was in the 300. And it was a 3-on-3. Jamie kind of fucks this game up. He was with me over there. They lost 2 on the snake side. Evan was in the snake corner. Jamie rotates, doesn't see Evan over there. He rotates to Evan's bunker to the snake corner and goes, oh, fuck. And then runs up and dives into the snake. So he's sitting there. They have a guy in the 300 with me. He won't fucking gunfight me. He's being a pussy. And I'm literally losing the gunfight on purpose to make him feel like good about himself. So he'll like gunfight me and he won't do it. Like he will not challenge me. So I'm like literally hanging out extra, like making my shots are a little bit off. So he'll like get confidence to fight me, and he won't. So I'm like, I'm getting mad. And I'm like talking shit down the sideline. Like, I'm like, fuck, man, come gunfight me. And the ref's like laughing. There's a guy in the center. I'm pretty sure he's at the center brick, and he's staying on me. He won't let me move either. So he's staying on me, and the guy in the 300 is going back and forth between me and like Evan, I believe. And there's a guy in the snake, and they're kind of fucking around. And Jamie's down the wire, fucking with the snake a little bit. And they run through to get Jamie, and I'm shooting this dude. I shoot him before he gets there, but it's bang bang. They pull him out. Well, then it's me, and it's a 2-on-2, and there's only like 57 seconds left, 56 seconds left. I look at the clock. I look at Evan, and Evan is shooting my way the whole time. I'm like, fuck it. We're just going to go for the tie. 0-0 tie. I said, Evan, just stay across. And when I did, he looked down the wire real quick and shot like a 3-second shot down the wire to hold the snake. And then when he went to go back over, I was inside. The guy at 300 must have been in the 400, and then came and just went and got me. Yeah. I'm like, and I was literally, I seen him turn over in the wire. I said, fuck. I leaned back and went to go switch real quick, and the guy came around and got me clean. And I was mad. So I'm like walking off, and then they shoot him, and they hang the flag with like 25 seconds, something like that. So then we do an all-out push play, and it actually 3 of us get into their like 300. Like in that side of the field. I run through, shoot 2 of them, and trade with the guy in the corner. There's only 2 of them left. We're running through. It's like 3 of us on 2 of them. We're running through, and then the clock expires. Damn. They don't get a chance to hang that. It's a good point. Good. It's the only match we lost. That's how that one.
Y'all beat up on Gridlock 3-0.
Yeah, we kind of fucking beat the fuck out of them.
And then
I had a gun down. I core sample was really bad. The ground didn't give at all. And I hit, and my gun like went all the way into the fucking dirt. I pulled it up and shot like 6 shots, and it didn't do shit. So I pulled I'm in 300 or 200, 100. I was through the barrel, and I'm ramming this fucking squeegee down there, and it will not come out. I'm beating the fuck out of it. So then I put the gun down, turn the barrel upside down with the squeegee in it, and I'm like smashing it on the ground with the squeegee to push the dirt out, and it won't come out. I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude. So I unscrew the barrel in half, then push the squeegee to the front, to the back. Finally, it comes out like 2 logs, like dook come out. I put the fucking barrel back on, shot the ground like, and this is probably took me about 45 seconds to a minute. Shot the fucking ground, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right. And I turn and shoot next to the ref to pull to see if the gun's shooting straight. I don't want to find out. It's not. Squeegee, shoot the ground, shoot the pole again, and it's like on the money. I literally set up, go to come on the outside. The guy is walking down the fucking Dorito side because I never went to the outside of the bunker. Not
he
once.
Didn't know you were there.
He's walking around the 300 in the danger. I'm like, wow, and just fucking blazes ass. And I run down and shoot one more. They fucking tell it. It's like 2-1. And the guy's like, where? He comes into me after a point, and he was like, where were you at? I said, no, I was in the 100 the whole time. He said, you never looked down the wire once. And I'm like, yeah, my gun was fucked the whole that point. I said, I core sampled really bad. He's like, yeah, it's just paintball timing, I guess.
Yeah,
I walked by the ref. I said, that's a shit show of a point, huh? He says, better to be lucky than the good, I guess. I said, yeah, it is, sure is.
That's fucking funny.
And then was that was the 4th match, I think, right?
Yeah, that's Gridlock. Yeah.
Who did we play in the quarters?
You played Hogs Black.
Yeah, that was a pretty straightforward. What was that score?
2-0.
Yeah, I don't think we lost one. Yeah, that was pretty straightforward. I think.
And then the next one is the Crisis Red, your semifinals.
Oh, I did these kids dirty, and the Hogs kids dirty.
The Hogs get dirty? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta hear.
It's 1-0, I think. And they load. We're down on bodies. The 2-on-3, I think. And I'm just trying to burn the fucking clock out. Well, they're starting to push the issue. They're in the danger, and they're in the 200, I think. And there's a guy in Snake Corner. And it's a 2-on-3, and I'm up 2-0, and there's like a minute left. And I'm like, fuck, man. Well, I'm just shooting. I'm like, come on. Well, the kid goes to rat real quick on the fucking 200, and I shoot, or sorry, he like leans out like leans back. I think Carson was in the snake or something like that. He like leans backwards, and I see just his headband knot, and I shoot down the wire and clip the headband knot, and I seen it bounce, but it hit hard, and he snapped his head in, and I'm screaming for a check. So the ref runs in to check him, and I know there's a guy 2 bunkers in front of me. I'm like, well, now's my chance to fucking get it.
Yeah.
I just come running down the sideline. I shoot this fucking kid in the danger like 9 times in the back of the fuck. It was like, and I'm like, get out. And I keep running, and I see the ref still checking the guy in the 200. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep on going.
Yeah.
So I run up, and I hear him like he's talking to the ref, and I run right around, and the ref is on top of this fucking kid. Like the kid is in the 200, but he's shooting inside, and the ref's on top of him checking the whole time. I run down the wire and literally put this bitch right in the back of his fucking head and shot him like 5 times. And I literally yell like at some crowd side. I'm like, boom, 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 and the ref's like hand and head is right next to this fucking kid. And I don't shoot the ref. I shoot right over the ref's fucking head. And I said, you're out now, buddy. And then I run around him, and the dude's in the snake corner. And he comes to come around, and I shoot him, and he's out of bounds behind the dead box. And I'm behind their 100. He's behind, like out in the wide open.
Yeah.
And I'm beaming him. He's still shooting me, and he's in the open. So I just stand there and keep fucking shooting him. And I said, I'm yelling at the ref. I'm like, you gonna keep shooting out of bounds, dude? And I'm just beaming this dude. He's shooting at me, and I'm beaming him. I'm like hiding behind the bunker. He's in the wide fucking open, just torched. Finally, the time runs out, and the ref walks up to me after the point. He says, I have to come to you and thank you. I said, why? He says, I had no clue you came down the wire. He said, I felt the paint hit this kid. He said, the paint sprayed in my mask. He said, he said, if you would have shot me, I wouldn't have. He came like in the pits with us. He's like, if you would have shot me, I wouldn't have been upset. Or he said, I would have been mad. He's like, but I wouldn't have taken it personal because it is what it is. He said, but the fact that you shot this kid while I was on top of him while running by and not hitting me, he says, I have to thank you. He says, because that could have went way worse than how it was. I said, oh yeah, it could have went. I said,
that's fucking funny. Oh my God.
And it was on our side, so they're on our side of the pit. So I did it right in front of our pits. And I'm like, I ran by this kid and just dunked both of them clean. And the second kid, I'm like, I just beam his ass in the back, and I'm like, you're out now, buddy. And then the crowd's fucking laughing and shit. I'm like, and then that last kid just gets fucking shit on. And I'm like, I come off the field. I'm like, I'm kind of feeling myself. It's in the quarters, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I come in like jogging. I'm hopping in. They're all like laughing. And right then, I'm like, we're about to have an event. I'm like, this is about to go.
Oh my God. I wish someone could have caught that on film. I was
hoping that there were tons of photographers there. I was hoping it was.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it'd be out by now. And it's been 2 weeks. This week will be the 3rd.
Yeah.
That is fucking funny. That's one of the better stories you've ever told me. That's very not
everybody was there, like all the D5 kids are like pitting. So they're all like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that was right. That was a good thing for them. It's exactly what Junior wants. He wants all the little kids to see him execute somebody on.
But what even like the kids? It was like Cody, Alec, Arthur.
Oh, even funnier.
Yeah.
That's like almost like Chris Lasoya's execution. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's different. Obviously, that happened after the game. Yours was in the game, but you could have, if that ref had been a dick earlier in the day. It's like one of those. Like I could get away with shooting you in the back of the fucking head, bro. Like, yeah. And it's clean. You know what I mean? It's clean.
This could be my redemption, that bad call you gave me. If it would have been, I did get called out earlier on a complete bullshit fucking call. It was against the second team we played. I forget who it was.
Clutch Gray.
Yeah, it was against Gray. And we're up points, and I like run from the alpha into the 300 or the 100 and the 300. I took a pretty big bite, like a jump around. Well, nobody was even shooting that entire way. And then one guy, like I seen him look, so I just dove in clean, and it was a nasty dive. It was smooth, came in, got up, and the ref comes running in, and he's checking me. And I'm not exaggerating. I was probably checked for about 40 fucking seconds. Jesus He's checking everywhere. I'm literally telling him, like, dude, nobody was shooting over here. Nobody shot. And I'm literally standing up posted, and I can hear it. They all use walkie-talkies now. Yeah. I can hear somebody saying, check his head, check his shoulder, check his pack. No, check his gun. And I'm like, I'm going, and I literally said, God damn, dude. I said, how long are you going to check me? I said, can I play? He's like, hold on. And he's checking and checking and checking and checking. He can't find a fucking thing. Yeah. Finally, he points at my rig. And I'm like this. And he said, you're out, player. And I said, for what? He says, right there in your tank. I looked up. There's 2 lines of paint all the way down my tank. Lines. I just dove on the ground, like where there's fucking paint everywhere.
Yeah.
And I said, you're calling this a hit? He says, come on, player. I said, I wasn't going to argue. We were up 2-1, and we were up way bodies at that point. It was like kill 3.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, dude. I like laughed and I went in the pits and they were all like, what the fuck? Our pits were all like, because it happened right in front of our pit side.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm not going to argue the call. It is what it is. I'm like, it's just fucking bullshit, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I go in there. I'm like mad. But if it had been that ref, he might have got it. But as funny as it is, at the end of the day, everything's done. And we'll talk about the final match in a minute. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'll go back up there. I'm talking to Scuba, we're all kind of bullshitting for a little bit. And like I walk over and I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who I was talking to, but anyways, I went back up there to get one of these, like this lady opened up her little like a Italian ice stand there, like a little local small. And I was like, I told her, I'm like, hey, don't close up. I'm gonna bring the guys back by because we just did a war ceremony. I'm like, we'll all get some ice from you, like just and we'll buy some. She's like, she was like happy or whatever. When I went to come back, the ref was walking this way, and he's like, where you going? And I'm like, just over here. He's like, you the guy with the flex? And I was like, yeah. And I knew who it was at that point because I knew, like, I never seen him with his mask off, but he looked different than all the other refs.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, let me buy you a Italian ice. He's like one of the ice slushy things. And I was like, all right. So we kind of started bullshitting and talking back and forth a little bit. And, we just talked about the event for a minute and said, all right, dude, I'll see you later. But it's funny. That was the same ref that fucking, I don't know if that was like hey man, like I
apologize.
Out, like,
but they were telling me where to check. They didn't want to run down there and shoot 2 more dudes.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, he ended up buying me a fucking like one of those ice things. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess you made it up to me. It's fine.
Yeah. You're like, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
You know how to get to my heart, bro.
And then who was the team we played at the end? Was it Carolina? Was it Crisis?
Crisis was your semifinals, and then the Sliler City Spicy Boys was the finals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was a 1-0.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I'm imagining a long fucking point.
Yeah. First point. Kind of drug out, but we won way bodies up, I think. Then we won like 4 up or something. Did we talk about we didn't talk about the Crisis game, did we?
No, we did not. That's the one you said is you think it's a 3-1, but they have a 3-2.
3-2. Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure 3-1. That's the one we lost a couple on the break in the very first point. I went 100. They shot me, and whoever shot that lane, he hit me probably like 3 shots.
Oh wow!
I haven't got one shot all off break all day. So I literally they shot me like really good. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna I'll pull up somewhere else. I'm not even gonna chance it again. It just is what it is. I went there all day long and they scouted us really good because they got the buy and they watched us play right there. Like we were talking to them through the net before we were playing every point. So they definitely scouted us and I was taking bites on that side all day long.
Yeah.
And he shot me really well. So I was like, all right, I'll just gonna pull up. Okay, that wasn't a lucky shot. It wasn't a lucky ball. It was a good beam. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll just pull up the alpha and I'll just double this cut shot right here. And literally we shot there 100 on the break 3 times in a row. And they kept going and we kept shooting him. And he kept going, we kept shooting him. And I literally kept telling Jamie, I'm like, he's like, where do we shoot at? I'm like, I would wait the last 3 seconds for the buzzer. I'm like 100 and would come up and just fucking gun the 100. I'd run out to the alpha shooting it. He'd pause up, delay and cut the 100. And we shot him 3 times in a row. And finally the 4th point. And he's like, where do we shoot? And I was like, all right, walking on. Chuck was trying to well, we got to figure out some lanes, and I said, I'm going to keep shooting the 100 until they don't go there. I'm like, we are going to keep shooting this dude until they realize don't go there anymore.
Yeah.
Finally, the last point of the day, they go up into the Bravo. They abandoned the 100. I'm like, good boy. I'm like, good job.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm like, good job.
I appreciated the easy kill earlier, but come on, bro.
Yeah. And then they run all the way. And then the last point, they had to do a suicide mission, but we just sat in our bunkers and just fucking shot double crosses and shot 4 of them. And we just sat there and shot at the last 2, the last one, all 5 of us shot his bunker and ran the clock out. I'm like, all right. Felt bad because the one guy came, of course, running right through, but nobody else came with him. It was just him. But we had a double cross plus a pivot in the middle, and this dude got fucking blistered. I didn't send nobody up in the middle.
Yeah.
So he came through to get somebody, and he was all by himself. He's like, he came running through to get the monster, and we were all like, and he took another like 5 steps, hoping to get the monster. I'm like, there's no monster there. I didn't put one there on purpose. Like, he just got fucking blazed. He's like, funny. Okay, fuck. And then we just sat there and just shot crosses. Yeah. The dude kept like trying to jump into the Viper. And I'm like shooting the gap, shooting the cut, shooting the cut, shooting the cut. And he kept trying to lean across. And I'm literally just shooting the cut the whole time. Finally, he's like, all right, fuck this. And went and jumped across and got hit like 6 times. I'm like, okay, appreciate it. I'm like, this is the easiest thing ever. Like, you guys made this way easier.
That's funny.
They were good. After the end, whoever fucked me up on the break, I forget who it was. He walked me up that one at the end of the match. He's like, Wes. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, what happened? You didn't want to go back to the 100 on the break after the first point? And I said, no, you shot me. I said, I'm not going to throw my body away going there again. I said, I'm better off alive than I am dead. Yep. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense going back into it. He's like, I assume y'all were going to like go back into it like later on in the points. I'm like, we won every point. If I pull up short and then we start winning those points, I'm going to continue to pull up short, and we keep winning them. I'm going to keep doing it until you can like, okay, boom, we stopped this game plan one time. You shot 2 of us on the break. All right, cool. And then we change game plans and that beat you. And then we play it again to beat you and play it again to beat you. Then we're just going to keep playing that game plan until you beat that game plan. And then if you beat that one, then we'll just change another game plan. Yeah. Like, which is what we did. And then the last one you say was what? The
Siler City Spicy Boys.
Yeah. Silver City Spicy Boys. I have a bunch of older ballers on there. I think some older guys on there that played for a while. I think one was a VM dude. It was really 2-0 on that. We just ran the clock out. I definitely thought they were going to push in that second point. They didn't, but they had a chance to. But I think we shot one. I think they shot the one on the break. I think, and if this is the same point, I can't remember. It might have been the match before that with that one team. I think it was the match before that. There was this one black kid or Asian black kid. I can't remember. Playing a snake, and this dude was fucking fast. They said before, they were saying like, we just abandoned the snake shot because they couldn't shoot it. Yeah. And they would come up, and by the time the paint was halfway getting there, he's already like diving into the fucking snake, like crawling down. Yeah. Like, and they couldn't fucking catch him. So I said, all right, well, abandon that shot and go fucking shoot something else, because you can't shoot this kid off the break. It's not going to happen. And he kept going in. But the problem is he couldn't gunfight to save his fucking life. He'd go in, fly right to the Viper, and then I would wait for him. And we'd gun battle one time, dead. I'm like, this motherfucker sucks. Yeah. He was fast. He's probably the fastest one I've ever seen going to the fucking. He was flying. And we literally just gave it up. We're like, all right, listen, he's going to the snake. We're not going to stop it. We just have to get him in and make him uncomfortable once he gets in. So he got in one time, and he was in the Viper, and then I literally just fucking shot like 4 pods on it. All my pants was shot on it. And I was shooting the bounce behind it, shooting the bounce in front of it, shooting the pin in front of it. I was shooting everything. I was just shooting every fucking part of the snake. I'm like, you're in there, but you're not gonna do a fucking thing, because I'm just gonna shoot it myself. Nobody else is gonna shoot it. So finally, like, we were up on a body, and I ended up backing like way up off the 300, like 4 foot in the wide open, because the pin was blocking him, and I backed all the way up, and he seen me and I seen him. We just sat there until one of us walked off, and we both hit each other. We're like, all right, dude, good job. And he's like pointing at me. I'm like, you shot me? I'm like, but I got a guy right behind me in the Doritos. He's gonna load this. You don't have anybody in the fucking snake who's gonna load your snake, and now we're gonna stop you from going to the snake. I walked up to him after the thing. I'm like, you got playing the snake? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you're fast as shit, dude. He's like, he's just upset because they just lost, And he's like, I appreciate it, But the match before that, which is funny, I'll bring this up. Jamie, we tried to play one time and it actually worked, but Jamie got up in the danger kind of early because he played behind me all day. Yeah. And he got up in the danger. We tried a different move. And I had a gun problem. That's why he launched. And it was a swollen fucking ball. The ball was like almost double the goddamn size. And my gun's like, like just clicking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? So I'm like talking to the pits. I'm like shooting. I'm like, hey, go ahead and give me another gun, ready for next point. Like I'm having a conversation with the pits. So everybody's like laughing, and I'm like trying to get the gunfire. And finally I pull the barrel off. I look, and the ball is almost literally bigger than the breech is. I'm like, bitch. So I full shoot it, and he's like, plop, it shoots out, and then I'm like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh, cool. I literally screwed the barrel back on and looked to my left, and I see this guy running down the Dunk Jamie, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's just rounding the 200. I like, and the danger was 2 of those triangle things, like together that has the big V in the top. So I screw it together, and then I cross shoot and shoot over the little V's, and it clips them. And then I shot a little bit, and then just turn and shot the outside of it. And he comes around to get Jamie, and before he comes around, I am fucking torching him, and it hits him like 6 fucking times, like boom, 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 and he comes around to get him, and he missed them because I'm like fucking blasting his ass, and then he comes around again and does get him, and I'm like, I said, hey yo, I'm like, what the fuck? And boom, Major comes up, and we're up like 2 points or a point one. I'm like, I look, all right, kill 4 now. So you run down and shoot the last guy. And I'm like talking a little shit, you know. I'm like, what the fucking Major? And we run down, do our shit, you know, trying to get in their heads or whatever. We played early against it might have been against fucking what you call it. I think actually it was. It was against that first team we played against. Nomads. I think it was. And Nomads, or who was the second guys?
Carolina Clutch Gray.
Nah, I think it was Nomads. Anyways, I like run down the Dorito side, and it's a slow point. It's kind of slow. And I'm like, fuck, man. I run down the Dorito side, and I get into I think I shoot the alpha. Yeah. And then I went straight into the danger. And then I literally stopped for a second. And there's a guy in the home, guy in a snake corner, and a guy in a snake. And I stopped for a second, and then like shoot a one shot snap at the home, and it was like right there at him. And I'm like, fuck, that's kind of close. I drop down and shoot like one snap again, and it clips him right in the fucking face. So I'm right next to their pit this time, and I go on the 300, and I'm like, I stop, and as I'm going 300, I like shoot the kid in the pack in the snake one. So now I'm like talking shit because there are pits right there. Yeah. And I run into, I'm like, get out, get the fuck out. Well, I go to run in to like hit the buzzer, and I see the kid sitting in the snake, and I go, I stop. I'm like, boo, and just fucking beam him. I'm like, you want some more? I'm like talking shit because their pit's right behind us. I think we're up a point. So now we're up at 2-0. Yeah. And I go back right past their pits, like on purpose, right by it. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking get it. I'm like on purpose. And the guy's like, I'm like, do you like that? And the guy's like, somebody in the pit goes, yeah, well, he's like, sounded kind of like a bitch. And I said, who's talking? I couldn't see who it was. I said, who's talking? The guys over here in the dead box? Which one? So like I jog off. I come up to him after the match, and I'm like, you know, it's all, you know, fun and games. And he's like, I know. He's like, you know, and all of them came up. I shook their hands. I know some of those guys. Yeah. And I was talking to him. He said, you know, it's all fun and games. I was just bullshitting with you. And he said, oh, I know. He said, I figured you were just talking shit. You just riled up. I'm like, did it work? He said, some of those guys are kind of mad. I said, yeah, that's what I was achieving. Thank God.
You're like, plan accomplished. That's fucking funny. And I wish people understood. I feel like a lot of our guys know it's just like when we get people talk shit to us, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know how to take that. Oh, and it like immediately demolishes a team. It's like, oh yeah.
It's like the last event we won, CPXL, when we played Gridlock in the semis. I took a 300 on the break, get in. I don't know how I remember these points, but I'm glad you do. You are a storyteller. But you remember that you were there for that match that we won. They had 2 guys. One was in our Dorito, and one was right behind him. The Dorito behind that. And I get in, and they don't know I'm there. I like move up into 300 quietly, and I sit there for a minute, and I snap the first one out. And as I snapped him with the first shot, I seen the guy right behind him. So I'm like, get out. And I snap out, and then I shoot the second guy. The next snap, I'm like, you get out too. And they're like, fuck, because they pushed really fast and were hoping to do some damage. And like the kid goes to shoot at me, so I fucking shoot him some more. I'm like, get off the field. And I'm like talking shit, and he's like pointing at me. I'm like, get the fuck off the field. We're kind of like talking a little shit. So I run down and shoot the guy in the home. And I'm like, or no, I was running to go shoot the home, and I see Jamie streaking through. And I'm like, I like pull up, and I'm just like standing in the open. I see Jamie come right. I'm like, dunk him, Jamie, dunk this bitch. And he goes through, and Jamie just fucking blasts this kid, and it come off. And I'm right by their pits. I'm like, yeah. Let's fucking get it. And they're just slinging shit. We're up like 2-0 or 3. I think we mercied them 2-0 or 3-0, and they're just throwing shit. I'm like, this is what y'all came for? This is what y'all want? and they were throwing their fucking pods. They're in the pitch just screaming and fighting. I'm like, yes. Like, this is perfect. Because Scuba Steve came out to me after that. He's like, man, I wanted to go in there and help those guys so bad. He's like, they were just in their head. You were just making it 1,000 times worse. I'm like, oh yeah, I know, 100%. I'm like, achievement unlocked. I'm like, that's what we were trying to do. Like,
there is nothing more satisfying than literally watching a team just break down. Like, it's like you're playing good, but it's like they're doing everything now. Like, it's twice as hard for them. Like, if they could just maintaining composure is something a lot of people cannot do, and it doesn't help when you got someone who's good and loud and running down and just like, get the fuck off the field. Hey, Jamie, dunk that bitch. You know what I mean? And then it's my favorite one that you always do is, and I've seen you do it a cup a few times, you shoot someone, they talk shit, you talk shit, and you always go, ref, that's a penalty. He's talking. And it's like, now I'm the only one who can talk shit. Like, you got to just take it all in. I can say pretty much whatever I want. Like, a ref at some point could throw a penalty on you, but as long as you're not
NYX is bad about that. Or good about that. They'll be talking shit, like they always do, and then they'll shoot somebody, and then they like talk shit to the dead player and get them mad, and either they'll talk shit back, and then the other team gets a penalty for it. I'm like, that's bait right there. That's 100% bait, and it works.
It does. It is. It
100% works. Yeah.
It's always what I love seeing it, because it's always like, dude, just you've already lost. You know what I mean? Like, you are dead. He fucking bested you, so just shut the fuck up and try to beat him the next point. That's all you can do.
You're gonna see him again.
You are gonna see him again. That is fucking funny. Well, that was a good recap. You, like I've said, you are a great storyteller. I love it. I think you could write books if you knew how to write better.
Yeah, I can.
Because you can describe things very well. You might not use the right word.
Maybe I can do like a book on tape.
That might be what you need to do. Yeah, you, like I said, you
book
have
on cassette.
Like you can just tell a good story. Every time I'm like, oh, I don't know what this topic's going to be. Like, I know, like, this event just happened, or like you went to an NXL with VM or whatever. I'm like, okay, Wes will tell this in a way that is entertaining to me and anyone who listens. Because I used to ask you, and I was always like, I don't want to hear about him beforehand, because I want to get a good one take of my reaction, a good like telling from you.
Yeah.
So I love it.
It's like I forgot to tell you off topic of storytelling. Did you hear who got the ultimate storyteller's jersey?
No, I don't know what this is. I
was told not to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you anyway.
Okay, tell me.
Chuck got a Matty Marshall jersey.
Oh, I'm so fucking jealous.
I knew you're gonna be mad. Yeah.
Damn it! The only one I can get is Rich Telford.
Yeah.
I didn't get it because I really want Matty Marshalls.
I know.
Rich Telford is like a consolation prize for me. Like,
yeah, he's like, I didn't have the heart to tell him that I got a Matty Marshall jersey on the drop. I said,
damn it, I don't even care what size.
He's like, don't tell him. I'm like, yeah, I won't tell him, dude. I want to tell him.
I'll have to text Chuck later, like, hey, can I see that jersey?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. He says, I got one of those jerseys. I said, I was just laughing.
I really, there's always, like, I was going through some of my old paintball gear that's at the house, and like, I'm gonna have to send you a picture because I know you cleaned out a lot of jerseys. Yeah. And Hallie was looking at all these, and she was like, well, how many are you gonna keep? And I was like, I have it broken into like 3 piles. Like, one pile is like pile that I have like no attachment to. Yeah. Can go. And then I have like a pile that are like my personal jerseys, or like jerseys that like I have a story from when I got that jersey or who was there with me. And then I have a pile that I'm like, these jerseys have a story, but like I could probably get rid of it because it's like nothing crazy. You know what I mean? It's not anything wild. But I need to literally let you look at all these jerseys because I know you cleaned out and had a fuck ton. I think I had 47.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And
I was
like,
I'm down to like 15 or 20 now, I think.
Yeah, and that's how she's like, do you need all those? I'm like, well, I don't. I was like, no. I was like, there's some of them I do want to get rid of. Like, but some of these are like, I mean, like my Georgia Southern one, like that's a keeper to me. You know what I mean? Like, there's not many people have one of those, and all my Georgia Extreme jerseys don't go anywhere. And then, but I've got a lot of Tampa Bay Damage jerseys and some Ironman ones. I'll probably keep one of each and then sell off the extras. Like, but I found a badass, and it's like woven, and I think I got it from your dad. And this is one that's like in the pile that like I don't know what I want to do with, but it's like a woven 32 degrees jersey, and it's really weird. And I'm like,
is it white and red and black?
No, I think it's like orange, black, and yellow. it's weird. Like I don't know where I got this from because I have a JT.
I'm pretty sure it's red, black, and yellow and white.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
I think I have one of those jerseys somewhere, or Dad definitely has.
Yeah, and that's what I think I got it from your dad. Like I
read it 32 degrees up on the pocket up here somewhere.
I think so. Yeah, it's offset on one of the shoulders.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got it.
It should be red, black, and yellow. Red, black, yellow, and white.
Because I have a JT that's similar, and it's a different material as well. It's not cotton and woven.
I think the picture I used for Dad's APA is probably go pull up the NXL Florida Sunshine State, or sorry, NXL or ICPL Florida.
ICPL, yeah.
And look at Dad's APA. I think it's on there. I think I used it on that. I think I used that picture. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm almost positive that's the jersey. It's gonna be funny. I know we have those. I think Dad has both jerseys though.
ICPL is not up here.
Really?
Yeah, it goes from World Cup to the Sunshine State Major.
No, it'll be under ICPL. Should be under.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, it's technically owned by NXL, but it goes under a different league. I'm pretty sure that's a jersey though. Let's see.
We were what? We were open 10-man. Is that what we were in? Or here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's on Georgia Extreme Legends. That's why.
Yeah. Yep. So it should be right there. You should see it under the what you call it. And Florida, Scheffler.
I don't even see your dad on the roster.
Oh, you know what? Maybe he didn't sign in.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Motherfucker. Yeah, he didn't sign in.
Yeah.
But yeah, his thing is the fucking what you call it.
That's probably it. Like I said, I've seen this jersey, somebody wearing it before.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember where. But yeah, I have a few of them. And I was like, I don't know who, because some of them are old. Like they're not like I can't ask Can because they're not from that era. Like there's stuff I got when I was first starting and didn't know what it was. Because I had some Reds ones. And then I have a couple JTs. And I feel like the JTs will be worth.
I was about to say JTs probably hold their value.
Probably $50, $60. I mean, I don't know, maybe more. Someone might be like, oh, that's a wild ass jersey. And to me, it's just a red JT jersey. But yeah, I found a lot of shit. All because I'm looking for a fucking freak insert to get Can. Because I forgot to give him one with that Lux when I traded him.
What'd you think of the flex?
It's dope. I think I texted you while you were playing or the day before, and I was like, that mask looks good, and then the pictures came out, and I was like, yeah, that mask is fucking. It's on point. It's a very clean build. How does it fit on your head?
It fits good.
Does it?
I wish the bottoms were a little bit more narrow.
Yeah.
I'm more of a narrow kind of person. Like I like the new fit of the new flexes compared to the old ones, but I thought about like molding these a little bit, but I got them from Evan and they're mint. The bottoms are mint. And he's like, if you molest those in any way, I'm going to be very upset. I'm like,
well, you can only bend them in so much because how they fit to the frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, it wouldn't do anything. That's what I mean. I think the shape obviously depends on the bottom too, but it depends on how the frame is. Like if the frame is slightly bigger, obviously they come from the same mold, I'm assuming, but things change, sizes stretch and whatever. So I think if you found a different frame that was slightly more narrower, that might make the bottom compress in on the sides.
Yeah.
But that's just a speculation. I don't really know. But so yeah, you're gonna get any more flexes. They just had another limited.
She wants me to build her a set. I just need to figure out kind of where I want to go with the build. You know what I mean? So
I don't have much left. I have a few random pieces. Most of the stuff now, I'm not getting rid of.
Yeah.
You need to talk to Powell if you want good frames.
What's he have?
I don't want to say it on this podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Not like there's a lot of people who can get a hold of him, because I was supposed to get them from him, but I have not. And that was like a year ago, and I haven't talked to him since. But because he called me like one day, my phone rang, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like I almost didn't answer, and then he was like, "It's moved by," and we talked for an hour, and I was like, "Oh, you have those?" He goes, "Yeah, they're like practically brand new," and I'm in my mind going, those are $500 plus.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I told him that I was like, I won't rape you with the price, but I do want a good deal. But want you to also know these are worth money. Like if you want to sell them on your own, but
what frame are they? HP frames?
they're Rage frames.
OG Rage frames?
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
Probably from 04, 05, 06, 07. I don't know when those were made, but they're not older. They're not older than 07.
I need to get him just to shit on Dylan.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I mean, there's only a handful of people that can get a hold of him, and it's like me and you and your dad, and that's probably as far as that list goes.
I'll text him when we're done here.
Because he also has he's got a Shock Tech autococker, I believe.
Yeah. I talked to him about that. He asked me, how much is it worth? I'm like, probably not a lot because it's drilled for eyes. I'm like, you killed the value of that gun. Yeah. I'm like, he's like, I think so. I'm like, I know so. Yeah.
I told him the same thing. I was like, 20 years ago when you needed eyes in that gun, you did what you had to do. Like that was what everybody did. But now everyone's like, I want it undrilled. Like, because I want to put a pumpkin on it or I want to play mech with it.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's your opportunity to reach out to him.
He calls me every now and then.
Yeah. He has a few other frames too. I think he had some, they're either like baby blue HBs or maybe lime green HBs. Those are probably worth decent money too, because I want to say the lime green was the color nobody wanted then, but now people want it. So
yeah.
But yeah, so cool. Well, I will take us out of here, good sir, unless you had anything else.
No, that's it, man.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, watching, doing all that stuff. People still view. It's awesome. We love to see it. I think both of us like telling stories. Wes is the better storyteller, but I still enjoy it myself. But we will catch you guys in the next one.
Later.